rocket racing. New plans for pilots to race each other in the sky this time next year. Right, we keep screwing up foam on the shuttles, but we're going to get NASCAR in space. All that and more now on Countdown. Also tonight, America has embraced the idea of driving real fast and continually making left. But what about races like this in midair? Is that a racing rocket in your pocket, or are you just glad to see Countdown continue after this? From racing chariots to racing cars to racing rockets, the need for speed has just taken one step closer to going supersonic. Our number 2 story in the Countdown, the birth of the Rocket Racing League. Enthusiasts to get a preview in New Mexico this weekend when pilot Colonel Rick Searfoss, who once captained the Space Shuttle Columbia, will test out an EZ rocket, the precursor of the racing rocket, then eventually a league with 10 rocket ships, 20-foot flames shooting from their exhaust pipes, flying 300 miles per hour, 5,000 feet up in the air, all of them looking like a giant Tylenol. Kind of like the pod races in Star Wars Episode 1, though without these spectacular crashes. The Rocket Race League is being pioneered by the same group that dreamed up the X Prize, the $10 million reward for the first private spaceship, which was won by Spaceship One last year. I'm joined now by the man behind the X Prize, co-founder of the new Rocket Racing League, Dr. Peter Diamandis. Thank you for your time tonight, sir.
My pleasure, Keith. Good to be here.
When do you hope to be up and racing?
Well, we're actually constructing the first 4 of these X-Racers, we call them, right now, and we'll be racing them next summer in time for next year's X Prize Cup here in New Mexico. We'll be debuting the first prototype this coming Sunday at the Countdown of the X Prize Cup.
If you have to race around in the sky, how do you make money off of it? I mean, NASCAR started literally on the sands of Daytona Beach, and people just sort of stood there and watched, and there was no profit margin. I mean, right now, is it not a little bit like the old joke about the guy who was charging people in Waukegan, Illinois, to watch the Chicago fire?
Actually, no, it's not. We've got a tremendous business here. We are developing, frankly, a whole video game that goes with it so that people at home on their PlayStation or Xbox can literally race in real time against the X-Racers in the air. We have sponsors have already started approaching us, the television side. This is all about speed and 21st century technology, really going beyond what NASCAR and Formula One are doing right now. And these vehicles with a 20-foot flame are taking off in front of you, doing vertical climbs into the air. And it's a spectacular sight, and you feel it in your chest. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of excitement.
Do you worry regarding safety? I mean, you've got 300-mile-an-hour rockets around the desert, in the air, spectators to watch. At this point, still with auto racing, things fly into the stands and hurt people almost on a regular basis. How would you be protecting the pilots and the fans?
Absolutely. Safety is fundamental. In fact, when we announced the Rocket Racing League in New York this past Monday, Patricia Smith, the Associate Administrator of the FAA, was there with us. We're working with the FAA. When the pilots are flying on this, they're actually going to have a heads-up display that shows them their own lane that they're flying in. They're flying in their own virtual race course, if you would. And the people at home watching on television or on the internet are going to see literally a goalpost, if you would, that they're going to be flying through. So you're going to see when they have to hit those marks, and it's going to be a race, three-dimensional race in the skies just in front of you.
Dr. Peter Diamandis of the Rocket Racing League, up in the air next year. Thanks for your time tonight, and remember,
my pleasure.
Wear that seatbelt too. Thank you.